Hi everyone, I'm really happy to be back with this new video and thank you for joining me. In this video I'm going to talk about the Lionsgate portal on the 8th of August. This Lionsgate portal that we have obviously each year, and I guess that you are feeling it. We are really in this period in time on this planet where things are really hectic. Energies are really electric, very fiery, very intense. So I will get into all of that and maybe help you navigate these very, very difficult and, let's say, challenging times. So first of all, let's talk about what is happening globally, because, you know, it's quite already, we can feel very chaotic. A lot of information out there, a lot of also contradictory information, you know, like big announcements are made, things are changing a lot, like day to day, things are always changing. So it's really important not to pay too much attention to what information is out there, what is happening in the world, because it's very, very unstable right now. We really need to take a step back, and when we put things into perspective, then we understand that we are watching this huge multidimensional show on Earth, you know. Because there is the light, there is the dark. The light is moving forward like never before. Darkness is trying to struggle to survive. It's losing its grip more and more. It's trying to gather more strength, but it can't. It's trying to trick sometimes also the light, but it can't. And it's almost like we are watching this lying poker game in the end, like with a lot of bluff. Or like a gigantic chess game as well, and knowing that the light has, you know, like I don't know how many moves ahead of darkness, and so basically game is over for darkness. But we are still in this tug of war right now where everyone is pulling the rope on its side, so this creates a lot of instability on the planet. But again, let's watch energetically what is happening. So first of all, the Lionsgate portal is really connected to the Egyptian pyramids. And the pyramids, as you may know, are also connected to certain constellations. They are aligned with certain constellations. And when this portal happens, it's really a grand opening for cosmic light to enter planet Earth. And last month I had this message coming through during a meditation I did with my community on the crown chakra, that we really need to connect back to the pyramids. The Egyptian pyramids, but also all pyramids on Earth. Because especially in the Western world, there's really this attempt to put this barrier on the crown chakra, like a huge dark cover above our heads. And I really felt that, especially because I traveled a lot last year. I traveled to Asia, and I felt that there my crown chakra and my third eye were really, really open. Like, you know, I arrived there and I was like, wow, I have more visions, I have more information, I feel more connected to spirits. And when I came back to Europe, as you know, as soon as I set my foot in Europe, I felt that there was this huge dark cloud above my head, like really pressuring me, but also blocking in a certain way the crown chakra energy. So the message I got for that was that when, obviously, if we meditate and we set our intentions to open up this energy center, then it really helps to open up our channels. But if we also connect to the pyramids on Earth, then we really help also this celestial energy to enter more easily and to come down to Earth more easily, because it is a global thing in the end. And of course, all these pyramids are also connected to each other. So the more we are connected to our own crown chakras, and also the pyramids that are kind of like the crown chakras of Gaia in a way, because they really, you know, connect with the energies of spirit, of the divine energies, and it helps that energy to spread on the planet, and humans to really connect back to their divine essence and their divine nature. There's also a lot of anger that we can feel right now in the collective. The people of the earth are really getting angry. They are really starting to revolt, and we will see that happening in the coming months, I think, in certain parts of the globe for sure. This energy has been kind of latent for quite some time now, but I'm even surprised it hasn't exploded yet, because, you know, there's so much pressure, really a lot of pressure. And of course we know that we are in this era of revolution because, you know, Pluto is in Aquarius now, and it's going to stay there for 20 years. So like for 20 years we will really experience a lot of revolutions on every level, and we are starting to feel that already. Currently Pluto is also retrograde, I think until the 13th of October. So it's going backwards, so it really invites us to revisit certain aspects of our lives, certain aspects of the structures that we hold within, and release them, of course. As I mentioned in my January 2025 forecast, this year we are having also a peak of intensity with the solar activity. So I was told that we need to watch solar activity in 2025 because the sun, the energy of the sun will be really, really important. And that's exactly what we are going through right now, because experts are saying that this summer is actually, off the charts concerning any solar activity. So we have a lot of solar flares going on. And there was a huge one on the 15th of July, I think, yeah, where it actually created a 400,000 kilometer canyon on the surface of the sun. That was a huge solar flare. So I don't know if you imagine, but like the Grand Canyon in the US on Earth is like 400 kilometers, I think. This one is 400,000 kilometers on the surface of the sun. So that's huge. And of course, this solar activity is going to continue as well. It has a direct effect on the Schumann resonance, of course. It has a direct effect on us, on Gaia, on animals. I see my cats, they really need a lot of rest right now. Like they're sleeping all the time. I know cats sleep a lot, but like, come on, go out sometimes. Like, don't sleep 24 hours a day. But they are feeling it. You know, they are feeling it also in their being. And parallel to that, we also have 50 volcanoes erupting on the planet right now. 50 volcanoes. This is also something that I was told in 2018, 2019. I was connecting with the inner earth beings, and they told me that one of the signs of this transition, this planetary transition and ascension, and the arrival of the new earth would be the volcanoes awakening. And they said it's like an electric wire with all these light bulbs, all lighting up one after the other. There are all these volcanoes that are also awakening, and they are all connected to each other through the also the ley lines on planet Earth. And this is what we are experiencing right now. And of course, just now we had a huge earthquake in Russia, which created a tsunami. So I didn't check the recent information, but when I checked yesterday, I think Japan was on alert, Hawaii was on alert, and also maybe the West Coast in the US. And again, we are really witnessing now that Gaia is awakening. Gaia is purging herself. Gaia is really fully into this transition, this planetary transition, and we can only be here to assist her also in this kind of birth that she's going through. You can really say that it's a kind of birth in the end. So what I feel with this Lionsgate portal, it's like this peak of intensity, and it's exactly like the earthquake that we just had. It's like an earthquake that creates this huge tsunami, this huge tidal wave that is really going to overflow during the coming months till the end of the year 2025. We are still in this year 9, so we are all collectively closing this chapter together, and I feel that in the coming months it's going to be a huge period of healing for humanity, and a lot of things are gonna come out. As I mentioned in the beginning, like all this information, it's almost like I see like Pandora's box has been opened, and now things are coming out, and things will shock also the collective, because this is really going to create a shockwave into the collective, like an earthquake in a way, and it's going to really shift a lot of the consciousness of this planet. Concerning this intensity and these trials, these challenges that we are going through, and maybe you are going through them right now, I also wanted just to share that I'm not spared by all of this. You know, it's not because I transmit positive messages and always try to stay on the optimistic side that I'm not going through anything. There's always peace and love for me. As I mentioned in a video this spring, I was going through like the most difficult challenge of my life. I was in my first trimester, my first pregnancy trimester. Now I can also say that this challenge was related to the baby. So luckily everything is fine now, but it was very, very difficult for me at the time. And now again, I have to say, better to laugh about it. I'm in my 8th month of pregnancy, and I'm facing a very difficult challenge again. Not concerning directly the baby, but nevertheless, it's quite, you know, like challenging for me, and so emotionally it can also potentially affect the baby. And it's also a process that will at least last 3 months. So yeah, it's not always easy. Some days I'm crying, some days I'm feeling hopeful, some days I can really be in acceptance, some days I'm really angry. So I'm navigating through all these emotions. And in the end, this is also why I'm sharing this personal experience, because it's important also, if you are going through difficult times right now, to know that you're not alone. And please, you know, you can comment under this video if you want to share also what you're experiencing or your story, so we can also support each other. What we really need to understand right now is that we are asked to be as resilient as ever. And we need to learn how to dance with the chaos. We need to learn how to dance in the middle of the chaos. That's it. We need to learn how to be at ease with the chaos, because the chaos is here. There's nothing we can do about it, and we are all affected by it in a way or in another, you know, unless we are monks in, you know, meditating in caves and completely disconnected from the world. We are all feeling it. We are all going through sometimes challenging times. So it's really, the image I had is the image of Shiva actually dancing. And it's really interesting to see what Shiva actually represents. So he's one of the, you know, the main Hindu gods, and he's the god of destruction. And what does Shiva actually destroy? Shiva destroys Maya. And Maya is the illusion. The illusion of what? The illusion of the perception we have, the wrong perception we have of the material world. And this dance, the fact that he's dancing with creation, in a way, he's dancing with creation and destruction. We could also say that more than destruction, Shiva is actually deconstructing. And what is he deconstructing again? Well, it's the same illusion. And this dance also relates to the infinite dance of the universe. That's the fundamental nature of the universe, is to be in movement, is to be in flow, is to be in these, you know, to go through all these cycles of destruction and creation and renewal all the time. Things are changing all the time. We are always evolving. The universe is always evolving, and that's what the dance of Shiva is representing as well. And what's really interesting also to mention is that in the end, when we really pay attention to this aspect of Shiva, well, we all have a little Shiva inside, because in the end, we all have this little Shiva dancing within all the parts of ourselves, whether it's our egos, whether it's our desires, whether it's our dreams, our hopes, our emotions, everything. There's always this dance happening inside of us. When we allow ourselves to be in this flow, to be in this fluidity, then we are really more accepting as well towards what may come our way, even if it's challenging. And that's what we call evolution, that's what we call transformation, and that's what we call also letting go. That's also when we let go, when we are in acceptance, then things are much easier, of course. And I also had this image of Aikido. So Aikido is this Japanese martial art, which is a martial art of peace, actually. It is a martial art of non-opposition, where this is exactly like the same principle in the end. It's really about using the outside forces and embracing them fully, so that we can use this energy and bounce back with it and send it back to the adversary in a way. So it's really interesting to see that this martial art that actually is inspired by Tai Chi, apparently, it's all about being one with the adversary, with the opposing forces. And how do we do that when we have this kind of forward energy, this attack energy that is very yang? Well, we respond with the opposite energy, which is the yin energy, like embracing with fluidity, with flow, the attack, and actually sending it back to the opponent. And what my husband taught me, he's a martial arts teacher, is that in martial arts, in order to free ourselves from external forces, we need to free ourselves first from our own inner forces. When I say forces, I mean like tensions. So the question is, what are the tensions within me that I need to release in order for me to release the external tensions, the external forces? And when I watch Aikido, I can really see like these two people are almost dancing with each other. Like you can really see this fluidity of movement, this ebb and flow, like almost like water. So it's really interesting to see that, and it's really connected in the end to the dance of Shiva as well, and we can really feel inspired by that, and really inspired by the fact that when we are in this flow, when we are in this fluidity and acceptance, and we embrace what is, things get much easier. And I totally know that when we go through challenges, I'm going through them right now, it's hard, and sometimes we need to also go through the heavy emotions, the human emotions, and that's totally fine, that's totally okay to go through all these different levels of emotions. But in the end, just realizing that the best way, once we process all of that, the best way to be at peace is really to be in this form of acceptance and to embrace what is. So that's really what we are being asked right now, is to be dancing amidst the chaos. So I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Take care. Sat Nam.